Hello everyone. Today we are making this report to discuss corporate culture of six companies from six different nations of the world, specifically in the Asian continent. So this video is made by Raghav Bali and student number being 10392767. We are making this for the unit Business in Asia. So let's go ahead and start with the introduction. So, the primary purpose of this video content is to analyze and discuss the corporate culture of the six companies present in six countries in Asia. We are going to discuss the automotive sector as we have used that sector for the other assignments of the same unit. The car companies that are selected for this project are Toyota from Japan, Hyundai from South Korea, Bofori Company from Southeast Asia, Truong Hai Auto Corporation TACO from Vietnam, Maruti Suzuki Nexa from India, and Microcars Company from Sri Lanka. The business structure of Asian countries quite possesses a complex approach, as analyzed by Dennison, Holland, and Guelza in 2004. And thus, a brief description of such aspects are provided in this video content by considering the different automotive companies of the world. Along with this, a description has been provided regarding the impact of COVID-19 for the six companies and how the businesses have been affected in these nations. So I've concluded my introduction, and now we move on to our first company, which is Toyota Automobiles from Japan. Toyota Motor Corporation is the biggest automotive manufacturer of Japan and second biggest in the world behind Volkswagen. They manufacture the automobiles, commercial vehicles, luxury vehicles, and engines for the target markets. The organization culture of the Toyota Motor Corporations is just like Japanese culture and is admired throughout the world. There are numerous companies trying to imitate the culture that is built on the two pillars, namely respect of the people and the continuous evolvement. Companies are after these because of the huge success of this corporate behavior of the Japanese companies. Countries' culture can always be felt in their major companies, and so is the case with Toyota. The Toyota Way promotes long-term planning by the organization, and it also emphasizes on Kaizen, that is a Japanese principle of permanently evolving, as analyzed by Franzoni 2013. Respecting all people is the principle that is based on the elements of teamwork and respect as promoted by Toyota. It is something that is strongly embedded in Japanese culture. Japanese culture is extremely harmonious and they avoid conflict. Deshpande, Farley, and Webster, 1993. If you have the document open with you, there's a figure 1 that depicts Toyota Motor Corporation culture of the company. The company manufactures nearly 10 million vehicles each year, but the presence of the COVID-19 situation has tremendously affected the business operation of this firm. This pandemic situation has created a severe and swift impact on the business corporation of the firm. COVID-19 has a serious impact on the execution of the business processes of the firm as it significantly decreases the number of employees in the workplace, which will result in negligible or very less manufacturing of the cars. Moreover, the products for the manufacturing of the cars were brought from China, and because the widespread of COVID-19 happened in China before, there were lack of these products, and that's why the Japanese government is subsidizing these companies to shift their manufacturing plants from China to Japan itself. Now we move on to our next company that we're discussing here, which is TACO, which is Truong Hai Auto Corporation Company from Vietnam. TACO is one of the leading manufacturers of Southeast Asia, whose headquarters is present in Vietnam. It's responsible for almost 30% of all the automobile manufacturing in Vietnam, and its main products are light trucks, family cars, and buses. The culture of the organization is unique and promotes sustainability, just like the Vietnamese culture. The founders of TACO make sure that these values were cultivated and promoted throughout the business since its establishment. The core culture of the organization is based on the 8 T's presented in the figure. If you have opened up the document provided, it will be right in front of you. These principles are also known as the golden rules. Across the company and the organization, culture is considered to be an intangible asset that is passed on to every member of TACO. They make sure that every member is it's embedded in them, the Vietnamese culture. In addition to this, the organization also prioritizes self-discipline, asking the employees to work in a responsible, mutually respectful, and collegial manner. The company has maintained a stable position in Vietnam, but the presence of COVID-19 condition has drastically impacted their business operations. The situation has created lockdown over this country, and thus the firm has to shut down its operations effectively. The resumption of such operations in the current environment requires a coordination of hundreds of global and local suppliers and thousands of employees. However, the lack of such an approach has created a drastic financial issue for the firm in doing its business properly in Southeast Asian markets. So now we conclude on with this and we move on to the next company, which is Maruti Suzuki Nexa company from India. Maruti Suzuki is one of the largest automobile companies in South Asia that sells popular cars for the people of India. Maruti Suzuki started as a joint venture between Japanese company Suzuki and Indian company Maruti. It started as a company providing Indians with their first cars, which were quite basic, but quite recently as India's middle class grew, so did they ask for luxury. So now they changed their operations to Maruti Suzuki Nexa, and this Nexa caters for high-end automobiles to the market. This is one of the successful companies in India because it focuses on the values rated highly in Indian culture, which is well-being and family orientation. The 5 values that are promoted as a core element of the corporate culture of Maruti and Suzuki are presented in the figure, which will be in front of you in the document, which is figure number 3. The organization is now focusing on sustainability and developing green technology. It is also working on improving the customer experience by putting people at the center of all its decision making. The outbreak of the COVID-19 pandemic has sharply fallen the consumer footfall of the showrooms. Thus, the vehicle sales rate is dropping tremendously, creating a negative impact on business growth. People are also restricting themselves to paying less money in extra expenses like purchasing of the cars or the non-essential products, which is quite understandable because of the situation, because the livelihood of so many people has been affected, and this automobile decline in India was seen before this COVID-19 pandemic.